Dan, and I'm a vinylaholic. I need help. Cheers. But thanks to the 4 bands I'm going to talk about today, I'm cured. So if you guys follow this channel, you should know by now, or even on my Instagram, I am a completist. Okay, so when I have, one album from this band, I have to have them all. So in most cases, that's what it is. But these 4 bands, and I'm saying this, I will not complete. You, the viewer, can actually tell me if I'm full of shit or which one I should get, whatever. But I am not making an effort to get them full price. Let me put it that way. If I see them like $5-10 each, yeah, for sure I'll jump on it. But on paper, these 4 following bands will not have a completed collection from me. And I'll explain why, obviously. So that's it. So here's my episode of band discographies I will not complete. But it's your job to convince me otherwise, right? Cheers. All right. And stick around until the end because I got a doozy of a story. Well, it's a 3-part story, but I don't think I've mentioned it on this channel before. I've mentioned it to my friends, and it's like, they're always like, oh, Dan, of course, it had to be you. So, first band I had, and this is alphabetical order, that's why there's no particular order here. So I'm going to go with Bon Jovi. So I've got the first one. I've got the second one, 7800 Fahrenheit. I never know how to pronounce this one here. So I got Bon Jovi 7800 degrees Fahrenheit. I've also got Slippery When Wet, which I love. Okay, this is the first Bon Jovi album I got, and I freaking love this one here. And last one is Bon Jovi New Jersey, which it's half good, half great, half tolerable, okay? Why am I not continuing? So I remember to this day that the day I saw, oh, here's new Bon Jovi video, Keep the Faith. And I remember going, yeah, that sucks. So I did not, like I said, back then I had cassettes or CDs of bands and all that. Not vinyl there. Yeah, did nothing for me. Bed of Roses, I can't stand as a song, by the way. My friend, I remember telling me he went to see this tour live. Steph, that I went to see Motley Crue, goes, they started off the show with Bed of Roses. I'm like, oh, that's a ballsy move, starting a show with a ballad. But anyway, so Bon Jovi, and I did buy the CD of, what the hell was it called? The Greatest Hits there with Always on it there. Crossroads? Was that it? See, I don't remember what it was called. It's him, Bon Jovi, or John Bon Jovi at a table in the background. You see the rest of the band on other tables, I guess. John did not invite them for supper at the same table. I don't know. Which I found decent, okay? Like, I did enjoy that one. But anything after that, like, I remember seeing videos on TV for Crush, These Days. My friend Steph had come over, and I was trying to recite to him all the Bon Jovi albums after, and it's like, I couldn't even name them all. And usually I'm very good with naming albums, even though I don't have them there. This one I could care less. And I remember I also went to see that because I had never seen them live, so I went to see them live for, I'm gonna say, the Have a Nice Day tour, or I think that's what I went to see. Anyway, I got into an argument with my friend, and he had his friend, and I got into some sort of argument with the friend saying, okay, well, I think right now Bon Jovi is actually playing it safe. It's easy type of rock that they're doing now, as opposed to what they were doing on New Jersey, Slippery When Wet, which was hair metal, and it wasn't easy to play. Let me put it that way there. So that's what I'm trying to get at there. Sorry. But yeah, it does nothing for me. I remember like seeing the video for Keep the Faith. I was like going, all right, I am done here. Like, when you sound more like U2 than whatever. But I mean, they had a few decent songs here and there. It's My Life, but I can't stand that song anymore. Have a Nice Day is decent, but yeah, Bon Jovi, sorry, but I am not going to be completing that discography again unless I see some used albums like for $5-10, because whatever comes after New Jersey is very pricey. Okay, so I'm not making an effort of getting those pricey albums. That's what I'm trying to get at here. But I will, get it if I see it cheap and good condition, obviously. So there you go. First one, Bon Jovi. Next up, this next band has nothing to do with being bad or good. I think they're excellent, okay? So, Loudness, Thunder in the East. And I think you may see where I'm going with this here. Lightning Strikes. First of all, they're, like, if you see this beside each other, you'd think of the same album, right? But yeah, they're... Anyway, Lightning Strikes, Hurricane Eyes, and Soldier of Fortune. Now, I was talking about Loudness a few years back with my bandmates, and it's like, Dan, you know that this band has 21 albums? I was like, 21? What the hell? So the reason I'm not gonna get them is the early stuff is all sung in Japanese. I don't know if I've heard this channel before. I'm bilingual, which is French and English. The only Japanese I know is Domo Arigato, Mr. Roboto, and I already got that album upstairs. So anyway, it's again has nothing. I love this band. These guys are great, and I know that when they're singing in English, it's it's English as a second language, because sometimes their lyrics are a little rock and roll crazy night, you are the hero tonight. I mean, that good song, but lyrics don't make any sense. But again, if I see them cheap, because like I said, Loudness is getting more and more expensive. Like anything after Soldier of Fortune is actually pretty pricey to get on vinyl here. And the early stuff I've seen here and there, not in stores, but mostly in Discogs or Facebook groups that are selling albums there. But again, just singing in Japanese, I just don't understand. It does nothing for me like that. And I know after Soldier of Fortune, I don't know if they went back. Like I'm not gonna pretend to be a Loudness expert. I know pretty much those 4 albums. I'm not 100% certain, but did they go back to singing Japanese later on also? But anyway, I find they're a great band. If I would see them cheap again, yeah, I would buy some Loudness albums, but it's just like I am not doing an effort. Again, this has nothing to do with their talent. I think they're great, but just the fact that they're singing their early albums is all sung in Japanese, and after that, they're all friggin' pricey there. So I was like, this. Plus, they change styles a lot. So I don't know. Again, am I missing something from Loudness? Is there something I should get besides those 4? Let me know in the comments there. Cheers again. Every time I'm re-listening to myself, I'm trying to sip this. I'm like, damn, I can hear you. Like, I can hear myself sipping this drink here. So let's try this really quietly. The Did you hear that? Probably. Okay, next up, two more bands. Next up, and I think everybody in the metal world will agree that they've been terrible since after a certain album. So I'm talking about queensryche. Queensryche. So I got the EP right here. Love it. The Warning, great album. I like that one better. This is great, by the way. I was, if you're basing it just on that "Gonna Get Close to You" song, but yeah, this is great. Love this album actually. And of course, the pièce de résistance, Operation Mindcrime. I still remember why I bought this at the time, and I remember it was back then I used to buy Hit Parader magazine and Metal Edge and all that, and I think it was a Hit Parader because it was top 10 song, like in a Hit Parader, top 10 songs of all time, because it was mixed in with Led Zeppelin and stuff like that there, and I was like, okay, and in that top 10 list was I Don't Believe in Love. I was like, okay, I've heard the names queensryche. I bought that album just because of I Don't Believe in Love, which I never heard. And also from it just being on that list. I just went on a whim just because it was on that list. It was on a list with lots of other artists. Like I said, it had to have been of all time because Led Zeppelin was on that list. That I remember. Anyway, Operation Mindcrime from queensryche. And of course, Empire. That's where I have it at. Now, if I find Promised Land, I did have Promised Land on CD back then. I just didn't enjoy it as much there. I mean, there was one or two good songs I remember, but it's been such a long while. So I had that one. I also had Operation Mindcrime 2 on CD back then, which I sold after I just ripped the Dio song. That's the only reason. But everyone I talk to is Promised Land is passable. It's like some love it, some don't love it. It's like the and then I think it's here in the now frontier. Here in the now frontier. Why is my accent coming out? Ugh. But anyway, and after that, everybody's like, oh, this is crap, this is crap, this is crap, it's all bad. I know the newer stuff with Todd LaTorre is considered actually very good. So I should make an effort, at least I've just never seen them in stores here. And I'm on Discogs way too much there. I gotta put a limit somewhere here. So yeah, queensryche, I think everybody will agree that, again, let's say Promised Land is a hit or miss. You know, that's kind of like either people will say it's good or it's bad. I just don't remember if it was good or bad. I just remember the one song I had on CD, just didn't. But anyway, I am not planning on getting any queensryche in between Empire and whatever. Again, maybe getting some Todd LaTorre stuff if ever I see it on a good price too. But yeah, everybody's in agreement, like anything after Empire is shit. So, and like I said, I had Operation Mindcrime 2, and actually I did not enjoy that one. Neither did I enjoy Promised Land, so go figure. Anyway, that's that. The last one, plus the story that goes with it. So I'm going to tell the story after I talk about this band. It's How to Shoot Yourself in the Foot by Dan Chartrand. So, and this is actually a complicated discography. So I'm going to go with Quiet Riot. I know there's two before this, and I believe they do exist on vinyl. Again, if I find those first two at a good price, yeah, I'll get it. I was talking to my friend Steph about this band the other day, and I was like, it's one of those bands that I'm sick and tired of hearing. Like, Metal Health is good. Come on, feel the noise. I can't anymore. No. Slick Black Cadillac. I know a lot of people love it. It's okay, like. But anyway, Metal Health, Condition Critical, which I actually enjoy this one better than Metal Health. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. You like my Warped. That's why I got it cheap, huh? Plays great though. Anyway, Condition Critical. Quiet Riot 3. Probably like their... No comment. I'll just say that. Quiet Riot light. Very light. And overproduced. Quiet Riot 3. And QR with Paul Shortino on vocals. I do enjoy this one, but it doesn't sound like Quiet Riot. Now, at the time, I remember having gotten Terrified on CD, which was good. I think my friend Steph had Alive and Well, but after that, Down to the Bone, I think is the name of an album. Rehab, Quiet Riot 10, I think could be one. Hollywood Cowboys, their last one, with I forget which singer it was there. Yeah, Quiet Riot is, again, if I see them really cheap, but first of all, anything after QR with Paul Shortino, I don't think exists on vinyl. I don't think we'll ever get a vinyl released for that. And I know the later ones did have a vinyl release. I almost bought Hollywood Cowboys one time a few years ago, but I came to my senses. I'm like, I heard the song, like, whoa. So, Quiet Riot, to me, I know they're the first metal band ever, and they have a huge history. To me, I just find that the music or the whole thing did not age well. But maybe it's because I just haven't heard it in a while. I haven't listened to those in such a long time. But now, those stories about Quiet Riot, How to Shoot Yourself in the Foot by Dan. So there's 3 instances. So the first one was, and this must have been in 2003, 4-ish, around that time. And they were looking for a bass player. Okay, now I'm a lot better. Like I said, I used to be such a cocky asshole, or like a troll a little bit on the internet back then. I'm no longer like. Internet trolls are the worst. But having said that, I used to be one of them to a point. So I remember there was an article on some magazine where they were looking for a bass player, and it had the link, you could send in blah blah. So I'm like, oh fuck, they were such a dead band at the time too. I'm just gonna get a swig here before I finish the story. So there was a link and where to send them. So I'm like, oh, I told my friends at work, I'm gonna send them an email. So the email, I forget what the whole thing, but the gist of it was, hi, thank you for your offer for bass player, but I already make enough money. So thank you for the opportunity. So I click send. Well, holy fuck, they replied back. It was such, I had to show this to my friend. It was so stupid, but it was funny. So they replied back. He goes, hey Dan, thanks for your consideration. Then a big picture of a finger, giving me the finger. I was like, wow, first of all, they actually replied to me and then sent me the finger. If they're watching this, they'll be like, fuck, that's the guy we've been looking for all these years. So, then a few months later, I guess Tracy Guns had joined Quiet Riot. Whatever. it lasted like a few months, let me put it that way, that lineup. Then I remember talking to my friend Steph at ball hockey, and I go, Steph, I'm like, fuck, Tracy Guns is already gone from Guns and from Quiet Riot. Well, why the hell's that? Like, what the hell happened? And his answer was, he probably found out Dan Chartrand wasn't playing bass for Quiet Riot, so he just left. So I'm like, okay, well, that's actually a good thing. And last one, again, this is all fucking Quiet Riot related. I was like, wow, I'm bad. So I have a journalist friend, Mitch Lafont, you probably know him. He had posted on Facebook. Now, this is when Facebook was fairly new, but people knew how to, like, and I'll tell you why, because he says, oh, I'm interviewing Rudy Sarzo tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. I forget, but he's interviewing Rudy Sarzo. What I didn't notice was, you know, when you put the at symbol, and if you're friends with that person, or maybe not even not friends, you put the at, and you put Rudy Sarzo, it's going to tag them, right? So Mitch says, okay, interviewing Rudy Sarzo tomorrow, blah, blah. I, the genius that I am, decide to go and comment on his post, and I wrote, hey, Mitch, can you tell Rudy why the hell he keeps licking his bass and then sliding? Tell him it looks fucking gay or something like that. Again, not knowing when you're tagged, you get to see those replies. Well, I woke up the next morning and Rudy Sarzo had replied, and I had just went to Comic-Con, so my picture on Facebook was me dressed up as Doctor Who. So I remember him replying, well, Dan, if anybody should be looking gay, it should be you, because I went and seen your Facebook profile pic or something like that. Anyway, I was like, oh shit, like I didn't realize that what just happened, or what I had done. I'm like, oh my God, what is with me with fucking Quiet Riot and putting my foot in my mouth? So that morning, whatever, when I woke up and saw that message, then I get a DM from Mitch Lafont. He goes, whoa, Rudy Sarzo sure ripped you a new one. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I didn't. Yeah, he did. And of course, apparently, me calling him gay and thinking that him licking his fingers and doing the bass slide actually was talked about in that interview, but he just didn't post that part. So there's a reason for it, apparently, why he licks his finger to do the slide, but he was apparently very upset at me. This, according to my friend Mitch there, he was very upset at, anyway, he says, you know what, he's like, he told a story of why he licked it, and at the end he goes, you know what, Mitch, just do what you want, I don't really care about that fucking Dan guy, whatever. It's like, apparently I got him all worked up. Anyway, so that is my little Quiet Riot stories. I'm like, I don't know if I've actually told these stories on this channel, because I don't remember a reason for me to talk about Quiet Riot. This is episode 265, so I don't remember all of them. Probably my friend Steve will tell me if I've talked about this before, because he remembers what I talked about on episode 39. So anyway, those are the 4 bands that I will not be completing the collection. I'm a completist, but at one point or another, you got to say no somewhere. And those 4 bands right there, I've said no. I've stuck to my guns so far. But like I said, if I see them like for a cheap price, if there's some jackass out there like doesn't know what he's got and he's selling all these albums for $5 each or $1 each, yeah, I'll get them. Like, I'll even fucking get some grunge Nirvana if it was there for $1, you know. But no, I'm not gonna make an effort to go on Discogs looking to complete these collections, because one, they're almost impossible to continue, and it gets expensive after a while. You gotta just say no. So anyway, those are my 4 bands. Let me know in the comments if I'm on glue. Is there some albums I should give a chance? Most of these albums I haven't even heard myself. So like, well, that's it. Apart from a few Bon Jovi songs here and there, and a few Quiet Riot ones also here and there. But anyway, that is my episode today. Once again, if you do like this type of content, please like and subscribe, tell your friends, share away, hit the little thumbs up and little bell to be notified when I publish new and embarrassing content like this here. So on that note, we shall see you guys next time. Take care, bye-bye.